All right, I have an interesting unboxing today. I picked up something new, and there's a reasons why I picked up something new, but mostly it's because I had that little Beretta Bobcat pistol and 21A and 22 long rifle, and generally I kind of made a rule with myself, never to trade in firearms. Just keep them, and I can build a collection, and that's really the best way to build collections. Just keep what you have, and then buy something else new when you can afford it. But once in a while a gun comes along and you just can't take it anymore, and it becomes completely useless, and that Bobcat 21A became useless to me. I couldn't run 2 or 3 consecutive shots without the thing jamming up. Plus the thing was so small that when I put it in my hand, basically the web of my hand up here, it would just go over the top of the beaver tail, and it would bite me every time I shot. And the only way that I could fire the thing without getting hurt was to basically had a 1-finger hold on the thing. And to top it off, of course, it would jam all the time. So that wasn't a very good option for me. So I thought, I'm doing a lot of testing here with rimfire lately, where I'm kind of debating whether, a miss with a 45 is really worse than a hit with a 22, stuff like that. And what I decided to do was go out and pick up another rimfire. So I picked up something a little bit different. You guys know I like 38 Special quite a bit too. And I got this 38 Special Taurus 856 with a 3-inch barrel. I did a lot of research. I was looking at a lot of different firearms, looking at YouTube at stuff that might be a good choice for me. So what I picked up was a Ruger here, and I just got back from the gun store. Didn't even go home. I just came right out to the woods here to show what I picked up. And what do I have? I have a Ruger firearm, but what is this? It is a Ruger LCR chambered in 22 Magnum. And I really want to thank Buffalo Outdoors for this, because basically I was thinking, I didn't talk with him or anything like that, but basically I was thinking 22 Magnum wasn't that good of a cartridge until I saw him test some rounds through his 3-inch Ruger LCRx. And I forgot to mention the X. It does have the exposed hammer. And he was getting really good numbers for 22 mag. Even in my 4 3/4-inch Heritage Rough Rider 22 mag, I couldn't get over like 130 foot-pounds with anything. He was getting 175 with some ammo, which squarely puts it into 380 and 38 Special energy, which completely changes the conversation here. So Ruger LCRX, I believe that the frame is actually steel and not aluminum. Maybe it is aluminum. Feels like a feather light. I'm not even sure what the specs are for weight. And it is a 6-shot. The 22 LR version was something I was looking at for a while, because it had an 8-shot, but I couldn't find one in stock. And then after I saw some of the info on the energy that the 22 mag is capable of, and a good revolver, I decided, hey, I want the 22 mag, and it's gonna be big enough for me to shoot. It's got this mono grip thing without finger grooves. Actually fits my hand pretty well, where I can get up high, and that should be perfectly fine. I can get all my fingers on here, which is not typical for little revolvers like this for me. So 6 shots of 22 Magnum. Interesting here, it looks like it's really well made. So I'm going to do some first shots with this. I bought some 38 Special ammo because I haven't been reloading lately. Just trying to compare, a 3-inch 38 Special to a 3-inch 22 Magnum, and see what kind of controllability we might get with some self-defense drills and stuff like that. I'm gonna put some rounds on paper. I'm gonna put some rounds on steel, and I brought out with me some 22 mag 45 grain Winchester Dynapoint, and I'm gonna put these on paper from, I'll do 7 yards, see what we get with this 22 mag with our first shots. Then I'll put up a different target. We'll do a little bit more quicker shooting. Then I'm going to shoot some steel just to kind of see what I think overall of this revolver. So let's get started with that. All right, 7 yards from the target. Let me load this thing up, see how it feels for dropping in these rounds. Hits them relatively tight, but not too tight. Well, let's see what we get here. First shot's 22 Magnum, 7 yards. All right. Ejection is definitely sticky, but it kicks them all out. And, you know, I didn't clean this because I just came directly from the gun store. So, I'll keep going with this. I didn't find a speed loader at my local store, but I see that Speed Bees and 5 Star make speed loaders for this, and I believe HKS does too. And I'll definitely be picking up something like that. I'll keep going with this. Alright. Still a little bit sticky. I wanted to go a little bit faster and see what would happen. So, I will try out the single action. It's not something I typically use. This does have a really good smooth double action. But, let's see what I get for the single action. Let's see what that feels like. Got a very far back action when you cock it. So, let me see if I can actually hit the orange. Alright. I don't see any advantage of that. It doesn't really help me too much because the double action is really nice. Alright. Still kind of sticky. See, that's the thing about this. It doesn't have a very long ejector. It has the LR, long rifle ejector length. So sometimes, you know, you have a problem there. But I don't think that would be a problem if you're using that for self-defense, if you use the right ammo with nickel-plated cases. And this was clean and you were really hitting that. So I'm going to put up a full-size target and see, you know, people always say shot placement is all that matters, and you can definitely shoot something like this faster and more accurately than something like a 38 Special. I want to put that to the test and see what I can do in that situation. All right, both this Taurus and that Ruger are 6-shot revolvers. 38 Special, 130 grain FMJ ball versus 45 grain 22 mag. I'll pull this up, get a sight picture, try to pop off 6 rounds center mass, just see how fast it feels for me. So here we go, 38 Special. And I'm kind of seeing the muzzle jump around, but you know, once I feel like the muzzle is straight again, I'll pop off another round. So 22 Magnum. Let's see what happens when I do the same thing. So you can put them a little bit quicker on target for sure. Let me try something a little different, like controlled pairs, double taps, something like that. All right, so 22 is always the whole headshot thing, which I don't agree with. A lot of people argue with me about that. It's all that matters. And my whole thought process is, we know that headshots are more likely to be fatal, and that's not what our goal is as concealed carriers, home defenders, etc. Our goal is to stop a threat. So my thought is, you know, aiming directly at the forehead and training that way doesn't seem like a good idea from a legal standpoint. But let's just say, you know, you have to do that. The situation might call for that. What would happen? So 7 yards. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna try to get 2 headshots with this 38 Special. See if there's a problem for me doing that. So here we go. 38 Special. All right. 22 mag. Same thing. Let me start over again. I didn't catch that front sight. That would have been a little unfair there. So let me catch that front sight and do it. All right. Not sure if I missed one. I think I did pull one a little bit high. So this didn't really do any better than the 38 Special. Let me shoot some steel. I want to see what we got on steel. Let me just do 6 rounds, 12 yards. See if there's a real difference there, because that's backing it up, almost doubling the distance. That might bring me to like a miss situation with something that has too much recoil. All right, I am 12 yards from the target, 6 rounds of 38 Special. I get a sight picture, place those on target as fast as I think I can still make those hits without missing. So 38 Special, see what I can do. All right, so You know, I do feel it slide up in my hand just a little bit. It becomes hard to control even for me. So with our 22 mag, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pull it up, try to get that sight picture. It does look like these have adjustable sights, which is nice. And just kind of see what I can get. So here we go, 22 mag. So a little bit overconfident, so I did pull one. But definitely I could see how if I were to train with this a lot, I could definitely get a lot better with this. You know, this is just out of the box for shots here. Not the sights are not adjusted. If all those things, you know, were taken into account, I think this could be a really nice shooter. So what I'm going to do now, I always like to back up the 75 yards. That's mostly for fun. You know, I get a lot of people angry that, oh, I'm training for self-defense at that distance. I'm not. It's just that, you know, I'm here. I got the distance. I do it for fun. Why not? So let me shoot from 75, see if I can make any hits with this, because we do lose some momentum over distance with such light bullets. All right, 75 yards from the target. If you're curious about the size difference between 22 mag and 38 special, there you are. And 22 is pretty long for what it is. So I'm going to fire from 75 yards, double action, slow fire, just because I do shoot a little bit more accurately double action than I do single action. And we'll see what we get with our 38 special and our 22 Magnum. So there's our 38 special, 75 yards from the steel up there. This thing shoots a little bit left for me, so let me hold just slightly right, see if I get any hits. Ooh. Wow. Okay, this thing is shooting all over. I actually had to aim about 4 to 5 feet to the right and about 3 feet low for that to impact. So that's not good. I don't know what the deal is with that Taurus. So 22 Magnum. I'm just gonna hold center mass and see if we can get a hit holding center. It's really hard for me to tell if I'm hitting, but I think I heard some impacts, so that's definitely promising. Load up some more here. By the way, these are hollow points. And one thing I like about the 22 mag is it's very affordable to shoot. It's not as affordable as like 22 long rifle, but it's not uncommon to buy ammo like I just bought at my local store, $16 for 50 hollow points. And when you go up to like Gold Dot, Federal Punch, stuff like that, rather than going up to like $50 a box of 50, that stays right there at about 20. So it's very affordable in that respect. So I'll keep shooting, see if I can hear these this time. Sounded like I had some hits. I'm getting used to this ejector here. It is sticky. It's very sticky. Not much else you could really expect other than it being like that. But overall, it's pretty nice shooting. So I guess I'll try some single action with the last rounds I have here. I have about 5 rounds left. 6 rounds. And I will see if shooting single action will help me at all, which it doesn't really need any help. This grip feels excellent. Fits my hand. It allows me to put it wherever I want without those finger grooves, which is kind of a That's a plus for me. I can get real high on this thing. And the double action hammer only comes back just a little ways. So that's good, but single action, let's see what happens. So I'm not sure if I hit every time, but what I can say is this thing is such a smooth shooting gun here. I'm not sure if you can dry fire these things or not, if the firing pin will actually, you know, hit the cylinder, but you know, put empties on there and dry fire it. You know, the trigger pull compared to my carry gun, my LCR, it feels a little bit different. Let me dump out the ammo here. We are unloaded with this guy. And I didn't really want the short barrel 22 mag because the ballistic numbers I was seeing was like 100 foot-pounds versus 150 to 175 with the 3-inch barrel. So there's a difference between the two. And trigger pull, let me do this again. LCR here. The grip, I like this grip, but it's not as nice as this grip. See, this trigger pull is super smooth and buttery. It is like probably 7 pounds, 6 pounds. It is super light. 22 mag. It's lighter than a Smith & Wesson, but it's a lot closer to a Smith & Wesson style feel than what your typical LCR is. By no means is it super heavy. And it does provide a very good staging ability here, because if you can see, it rotates to its full position right there, and then watch the hammer, it keeps going back, 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 back. So that would allow you to get that cylinder to turn right where you want it, right there. And at that point, then you can know it's only the hammer you're controlling, which makes a difference in how smooth the gun is and how it's going to be accurate double action. So that's what you get today. I am completely impressed with this revolver. By the way, I know I paid about $370 for it after that trade-in. They gave me a fair amount for the trade-in on that Beretta of about $280. So I paid like about $370 for this after that. So I would say I am thoroughly impressed with this. I'm happy with this purchase. I really, really like this. And I was kind of thinking, you know, I have a daughter that's going to be 18 relatively soon here. You know, it's legal to own handguns in my state. Once you're that age, I'm thinking, either when I get old and I'm having more rheumatoid arthritis problems, or just old in general and I'm having trouble shooting, or as a gift to my daughter, I thought, now this would be a really, really nice revolver, and I'm really impressed with it. I can't say enough good about that grip. That feels excellent. That's probably the best handgun grip I've ever felt, to be honest. Very awesome revolver. And again, thanks to Buffalo Outdoors for putting up so much content, because, you know, that content really allowed me to see how good something like this could be. So I'm going to have a bunch of ballistic tests with this. I'm going to do definitely my 3-inch revolver, my Taurus, to compare to this, and my 4-inch 9mm to compare in some ballistic tests. A lot of people will say, like, well, that's not fair. But at the same time, the people that are really proponents of 22 are putting it into that fair sector by saying, you know, it's something you could carry and it's as good or better than a 9mm or a 38 because the recoil's less. So they're putting it into that fair sector. So I think it would be fair to compare to something in the same size range, like a 4-inch 9mm or a 3-inch 38 special, something like that. So very impressed with this. That's our first shots and unboxing. I don't think I've ever had an unboxing where I did so well with a revolver. It's a really good revolver. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.